just waiting to buy tobacco and rye from now till I die.
In 1968, Hollywood marched into the untouched forests of northeastern Oregon with the dream of creating a grand musical western. Something bigger and brighter than anything audiences had seen before. But what they found in those mountains was not magic, it was chaos. The production fell apart under rewrites, storms, personal drama, and a level of tension that turned a simple film into a battle. At the center of it all stood Lee Marvin and Clint Eastwood, two men living through a story, far more dramatic than anything written in the script. And years later, Marvin finally revealed the truth about what happened in those remote woods and what it showed him about Eastwood. To understand the man who ended up in that disaster, you have to go back to Lee Marvin's early life in New York City. He grew up in comfort, the son of a successful advertising executive and a mother involved in fashion writing. Even his name was shaped by family pride, tied to a distant connection to General Robert E. Lee. But while his childhood looked polished, from the outside, school quickly showed a different reality. Marvin struggled with dyslexia and ADHD long before anyone understood those conditions. He fought, skipped class, rebelled, and searched for anything that felt like his own world. Sometimes it was the violin. Sometimes it was hunting deep in the woods, as if two versions of him were growing together. One gentle and one wild. School never held him for long. By 1942, with war spreading across the world, Marvin made a decision that would define him long before Hollywood ever called. He enlisted in the Marines. What happened on the island of Saipan changed him forever. He was shot in the lower back and hip, nearly killed, and sent home a decorated war hero. But heroism did not hand him a future. His first job after the war was as a plumber's assistant, dirty work far from glory. Then one night, fate stepped in. An actor became sick at a community theater. Marvin stepped in without training and discovered the thing he had been missing his entire life: a calling. Acting hooked him instantly, pushing him through off-Broadway shows into Billy Budd on Broadway, and finally toward Hollywood. By the early 50s, he made his film debut, offering something no one else could: real combat experience. Slowly, films piled up. Slowly, directors noticed him. And slowly, his private life turned chaotic. A fast marriage in Las Vegas. For children, affairs on movie sets. And a career that still refused to give him the breakthrough he needed. That came only after television gave him a lead role in M Squad. And John Wayne later opened the door to the man who shot Liberty Valance. Then came his Oscar for Cat Ballou, a shocking win that turned him from a character actor into a star. But drinking, temper, and poor choices followed him everywhere, pushing him into feuds, broken friendships, and eventually toward one of the biggest mistakes of his career. In 1969, he turned down The Wild Bunch, a classic that would become a masterpiece, and instead chose a musical western called Paint Your Wagon. The money was good, the experience was not. On that set in Oregon, everything spiraled. Weather shut down filming, the budget exploded, Lee Marvin's drinking grew worse, and Clint Eastwood quietly began an affair with Jean Seberg, one that ended in heartbreak when he walked away without saying a word. Marvin watched it all unfold, the chaos, the ego, the confusion, and later admitted that deep in those mountains he saw the real Clint Eastwood, a man not yet sure who he wanted to become. Paint Your Wagon collapsed under its own ambition. The set was huge, the script changed constantly, and storms turned filming into a nightmare. Eastwood later said the movie embarrassed him so deeply he considered quitting acting altogether. It was one of Hollywood's loudest warnings. It's a reminder that even the biggest stars can get lost in a project built on the wrong foundation. If you enjoyed this story, make sure you subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin and press the bell icon so you never miss our latest videos.